I'm going to show you two ways to attach limbs or shapes to any project. We've got my little buddy right here. I'm going to give him some arms and I'm going to give him some legs. I got his little limbs right here, but I've got two methods that I'm going to show you how to do that. For our first way to attach something to a project is around the stitches. This is if you would like something to be stiffer on a project. Usually they're full of stuffing and you want it to maintain its shape. So going around the stitches means that you are taking your tapestry needle and you're going in one stitch on the limb and one stitch on the body, and you just keep wrapping around until each stitch has been attached to the body and it's open against the body. So we'll do that. We take our yarn tail and we'll put it in our tapestry needle. And then we figure out where we'd want it. There's 6 stitches on here and I kind of want to place it like right around here. So I take my thing, my limb, and I will, because it's already coming off the limb, I will go straight into the body and place it on. If you're looking for a certain orientation, you can take like a small crochet hook and you can push it through your limb and I push it into the body, and it will just help hold that in place as you go around. So I've gone into the body with this tail, and now that I've gone into the body, I'm going into the next stitch on my limb in the front loop only, pulling it through, and now I go back into the body. And you kind of just want to make sure that those stitches on whatever you're trying to attach line up with the body's stitches. Kind of match them up. So I go in the front loop only, and I go back into the body. There we go. This also blends the stitching to make it look like it was continuous. Let's see. Okay, next stitch. And I went into the limbs, and I'm going into the body again. And you just keep going. Next stitch into the limb. Into the body. Looks like we are all done with that. Because it's open against the body, you want to use your fingers and kind of, you can pull that out. Feel around and make sure that there's no gaps, because if there are gaps and you have stuffing inside, movement and playing with it could cause that area to open. And you don't want that. You want to keep the stuffing inside. So I'm going to come in here because I noticed there's a gap right there. And I don't have any stuffing in it, but I'm still going to just close off that gap. And I'm just going to come through the other side. Let's see how that looks. Okay. All right, when I finish doing all the stitch work I want to do, I usually will come into an area that's not as noticeable to finish it off to tie a knot. So it's usually underneath the limb, kind of where you won't see it. So I went under this stitch here, and I'm gonna go around it again to kind of make a loop. And then I will put my tapestry needle in that hole to make a knot, weave in my ends. So I'm going to take my tapestry needle and like push it through the project. I can pop out anywhere really. Wiggle this around, pull it through, and then when I'm satisfied with where the yarn is, I can pull it tight against the body just a little bit and then clip close, and now it's on there. So he's got one little arm sticking off to the side, and it's stiff because we did that around look. So the next one will be method 2. So he's got 2 arms now. We're going to give him 2 legs, and we're going to do it in method 2. So method 2 allows for floppiness. What that means is you will lay the stitches at the top of your project by your yarn tail to lay flat against each other. Instead of having it open like we did before, this will kind of pinch it closed and allow for more flexibility and like hinge-like behavior. So when you attach it, you are going to take your needle and you're going to come through the back and the front side of the stitch and then attach it to the body. So you'll be going through 2 stitches on the limb or whatever you're attaching, and then the body. So we'll figure out his little leg placement underneath. We'll put our yarn on our tapestry needle, and I like to squish it flat and have the yarn tail be on the edge here, and then I will come through it the first set of stitches and then go directly under its matching flat side. So let's see, like that, and pull it through. And then I will figure out where I want to put it. I want him to be able to sit like this. So we will, and I can use this to kind of pin it to the body if I want to. That way it won't move as I'm doing the stitch work. So I've already gone through both stitches on the limb, and now I just need to go in the body. And you're doing the same wraparound method as you did before, but it's just 2 of the limb. So here's my second set of loops. I went through the front. Now I'm going through the back of the limb. I will pull that tight, and now I'm going in to the body. And if you're trying to keep it a straight line, then you want to make sure you're keeping track of where you're putting in your tapestry needle. Alright, so I'm going through my last set of loops. I went through the front and now the back of this limb, and I will go through the body one more time. If you want it to be really secure, you can go back through those stitches again. This is pretty thick yarn, so I might not need to, but I'll do it anyway, just to have it all work. Every time you go into those stitches, you just want to make sure that you go back in through the exact same spot and in through the body. The same way too, which is right there. Okay. Hope and twist it until I can get it to work. Okay. So there is that leg attached. And the same way we finished the other one. So I'm coming out this stitch right here. I'm gonna tie off my knot. Okay, put my needle in this hole. Actually, go through it this way. You'll see where it's going to be making the knot and if it's secure or not. Okay, tie that off. And then insert it back in and weave in the ends into the body. And that has pulled that guy in. We can take this off. And when I'm satisfied, I'll cut the yarn. We've got some stuffing that came out, but that is totally fine. I'll pull this, cut close to the body, and you can pull on the limb a little bit too, and that'll pull that yarn tail back in. But now he's got a floppy limb. See, this is not, this will kind of go where you place it, and this one can't. It's really floppy. So when you're doing like a leg for sitting, that's a good idea. But you can push his little legs down. Right, so those are the two different methods.